Your warmth left slowly, not all at once. Like winter on the window, I only noticed when it touched. Your scarf stayed folded on the back of my chair. I kept the heater on like you were still there. Cold coffee by morning, a cup without steam. Even the room felt tired of holding our dream. We didn't break loudly, we just lost the fire. One quiet day, then another colder night, fading like winter, soft, slow and pale. Your love turned quiet where mine still stayed. Fading like winter, no storm, no fight, just frost on the places we used to keep bright. Your unread message waits under a cracked blue light. Don't forget your coat from a warmer time. Street lights look blurry through the rainy glass, like little yellow ghosts from a softer past. I still make 2 cups, then pour one away. Some habits survive what the heart can't save. Maybe love can freeze before it can fall. Maybe we stood too still and called it calm. I watched us turn white at the edges first, then disappear slowly without saying it hurt. Fading like winter, soft, slow and pale. Your love turned quiet where mine still stayed. Fading like winter, no storm, no fight, just frost on the places we used to keep bright. Fading like winter, that's how you went, leaving me cold in a season with no end. Fading like winter, across my chest, you didn't leave suddenly. You just became less. I heard your voice today from a note I never deleted. Just 3 quiet seconds and the room changed shape. The coffee turned cold beside my shaking hand. You only said drive safe, but it broke me again. Rain touched the window like fingers on glass. I sat there listening to a life that passed. I know I should erase it, I know it is not fair, but silence feels heavier when your voice is still there. I still know your voice, even through the years, soft in an old recording, too close to my tears. I still know your voice better unread message sleeps under that voice note. I never open the words, I only hear the tone. Streetlights blur softly across the kitchen floor, like they remember nights you called from the door. I try to play music to cover the sound, but every sad song still wears your mouth. Maybe forgetting is not silence, maybe it is learning to hear you in memory and keep on turning. Maybe one day your voice won't pull me apart. It will just be a sound that once knew my heart. I still know your voice, even through the years, soft in an old recording, too close to my tears. I still know your voice better than my own. It turns this empty room back into home. I still know your voice, that's what hurts the most. You are gone from my life, but not from the echo. I still know your voice fading in the rain. I press pause slowly and breathe through your name. I woke up in today, but my heart stayed back in the room with your laughter and sunlight through cracks. The coffee tasted colder than it should have been. I stirred it like a memory that would not end. Your unread message sits under last year's rain. I know it is old, but it still knows my name. I keep walking forward with my eyes turned around. Every step I take still hears the same sound. Lost in yesterday, where you still smile, where the house feels warm for a little while. Lost in yesterday, I can't find the door. Every memory leads me back to before. Time took away. Your jacket is gone, but the hook still leans like it remembers what it used to be. Streetlights of morning look tired and pale, like they stayed up with me, reading no details. I found a receipt from a quiet cafe, 2 cups, 1 table, a softer day. Maybe yesterday was not better than now. Maybe I just knew you there and I don't know me now. Maybe I'm not chasing love, maybe I'm chasing proof that I was once someone who belonged next to you. Lost in yesterday, where you still smile, where the house feels warm for a little while. Lost in yesterday, I can't find the door. Every memory leads me back to before. Lost in yesterday, that's where I stay, holding old moments that time took away. Lost in yesterday, soft and far. I came back alone with yesterday in my heart. I opened your message and felt nothing move. Not because it was easy, but because we were through. The coffee sat cold between two quiet chairs. You asked if I was okay. I just looked at the stairs. The house held its breath, like it knew the end. No fight in the hallway, no need to pretend. We used all the words before this night came. Now even sorry feels late and strange. Nothing left to say, nothing left to prove. Just two tired hearts in an empty room. Nothing left to say, no blame, no fire, just a love gone quiet after losing desire. Nothing left to say, that's how we fade. Not with a storm, but a silence we made. Your jacket by the door looked ready to leave. I fixed the collar once, then stopped touching things. Rain tapped the window, soft as a warning. Streetlights turned pale before the morning. You stood there waiting for one last line, but I had spent them all trying to keep us alive. Maybe the saddest part was not the goodbye, it was knowing the truth and not needing to cry. We didn't break in anger, we emptied out slow, like rooms after moving with nowhere to go. Nothing left to say, nothing left to prove. Just two tired hearts in an empty room. Nothing left to say, no blame, no fire, just a love gone quiet after losing desire. Nothing left to say, that's how we fade. Not with a storm, but a silence we made. And the door closed softly. came again with nothing new to say. Your side of the table still catches the light. I made only one cup, then reached for two. My hand knew the habit before my heart did. The curtains moved softly, but no footsteps came. Just dust in the sunlight and your missing name. I thought nights were harder till mornings proved me wrong. They show me what is gone in plain daylight. One more empty morning, one more quiet room, one more cup of coffee, getting cold too soon. One more empty morning, no voice down the hall, just sunlight on the places where we lost it all. That's how I learn. Some goodbyes don't end when the night returns. Your unread message sleeps under yesterday's rain. I almost opened it, then walked away. The streetlights fade out like they're tired too. They leave the window pale and the room without you. I fold the blanket twice on the chair by the door, a small useless ritual I still do for no one. Maybe healing starts small, with one cup, not two, with leaving the light off in a room made for you. But today I am not there. I am still in between, half holding the past, half learning to breathe. One more empty morning, one more quiet room, one more cup of coffee, getting cold too soon. One more empty morning, no voice down the hall, just sunlight on the places where we lost it all. One more empty morning, and I'm still here, less broken than yesterday, but nowhere near clear. One more empty morning, soft, cold, and slow. The day begins again, with one heart letting go. I promised myself I would not write again. Then your name found the melody before I touched the pen. Cold coffee by the keyboard, rain against the room. One empty chair beside me still knows the shape of you. Your unread message sleeps under a cracked blue light. I don't open it now, I just sing through the night. Maybe this is not love, maybe it is release. One last quiet so my heart can breathe. One more song for you, then I'll let it fade. One more little truth I was too scared to say. One more song for you, soft under the moon, not to bring you back, just to leave this room. One more song for you, that's my goodbye, a melody in the dark where I learned not to cry. The streetlights look tired through the window glass, like they watched every chorus turn into the past. I changed the file name from your name to mine. For the first time in years it almost felt right. Your photo is gone, but the silence remains. So I put it in chords and gave it some pain. Maybe every song was a door I kept closed. Maybe I was singing to avoid going home, but tonight feels different. The last note is clear, I can still remember you without keeping you here. One more song for you, then I'll let it fade. One more little truth I was too scared to say. One more song for you, soft under the moon, not to bring you back, just to leave this room. One more song for you, that's my goodbye, a melody in the dark where I learned not to cry. One more song for you, and silence comes through. And for once the silence doesn't sound like you. The coffee turned cold before I took a sip. I was reading old messages I should have deleted. Your last voice note sat there like a door left unlocked. I pressed play for a second, then made it stop. Morning filled the kitchen, but nothing felt awake. Even the sunlight looked tired of landing in your place. Time kept moving forward around the room, but I stayed frozen with a cup and you. The coffee turned cold, just like us, left on the table without enough touch. The coffee turned cold, and so did the air. One day you were here, then nowhere. The coffee turned cold, that's how I know. Some things don't break, they just lose their glow. I found your grocery list under the sugar jar. Milk, bread, and flowers for a life that feels far. Rain tapped the window, street lights stayed on late. I watch reflections move while I sat in one place. The chair across from me still faces mine, like it forgot you left a long time ago. Maybe we faded slowly, like steam in the air. Not enough to notice until nothing was there. No dramatic ending, no words to defend, just two people talking less until talking ends. The coffee turned cold, just like us, left on the table without enough touch. The coffee turned cold, and so did the air. One day you were here, then nowhere. The coffee turned cold. That's how I know some things don't break, they just lose their glow. The coffee turned cold, and I finally see it wasn't the coffee, it was you leaving me. The moon saw everything, the nights I never told, how I sat by the window growing quietly old. It watched your shadow leap across the parking lot. I waved like it was nothing, even when it was not. The coffee on the table went cold beside my hand. The moon stayed awake when nobody else can. I lied to all my friends, said I was doing fine, but the moon heard every truth I hid between the lines. The moon saw everything, the tears I never showed, the messages I typed and never let go. The moon saw everything, the nights I stayed awake, trying to fix a heart already starting to break. At a time, your unread message sleeps inside an old phone light. I still know the password, though I know it's not right. Street lights paint silver across the empty floor. The house feels larger now than it did before. I found your grocery list inside a kitchen drawer, a little piece of normal we don't have anymore. Maybe the moon remembers every promise we made, the way your voice softened when you said my name. Maybe it saw the moment before messages I typed, then never let go. The moon saw everything, the nights I stayed awake, trying to fix a heart already starting to break. The moon saw everything and never looked away, while I kept losing you one quiet day at a time. The moon saw everything, the silence, the pain, and every night it rises, it tells a story again. I wrote a song for you after you stopped listening. The room was half dark and the rain kept time. My coffee went cold beside the old guitar. I played one soft chord, then lost where we are. Your unread message stayed blue on my screen. I answered in lyrics you would never see. Some words are too late before they leave the chest, so I gave them a melody and kept the rest. The song you never heard still plays in this room, soft as the silence I kept from you. The song you never heard knows every line I should have said sooner when you were still mine. The song you never heard is all I have left, a quiet little goodbye singing under my breath. I saved the first recording with your name on the file, then changed it at midnight after staring a while. Street lights through the curtains made lines on the floor, like music sheets waiting for one note more. I almost sent it once, then closed the phone. Some songs aren't for sending, they just teach you you're alone. Maybe you didn't need it, maybe I wrote it for me, to hear the truth clearly in a broken melody. Maybe love ends this way, not loud, not cruel, just one man singing to an empty room. The song you never heard still plays in this room, soft as the silence I kept from you. The song you never heard knows every line I should have said sooner music, but it still says your name. Goodbye did not sound loud. It sounded like your keys missing from the table where they used to be. It sounded like the fridge humming through the wall, like rain on the window with no voice to call. Your cup stayed by the sink, cold from last night. I washed it too slowly under kitchen light. I thought goodbye would break like glass on the floor, but it came in small sounds. I kept hearing more. The sound of goodbye is quiet in this room, a door not closing, a heart out of tune. The sound of goodbye is your silence at night. No final sentence, just fading light. The sound of goodbye still plays in my mind, soft as your footsteps, leaving me behind. Your unread message waits with no blue reply. I tap the screen once and let it die. Streetlights hum outside over empty cars. I hear our old laughter, but it sounds too far. The chair by the window still leans to your side, like even the furniture never learned why. Maybe endings whisper before they arrive, in shorter answers and colder goodnights. Maybe I heard it early but called it a bad day. Now every little silence has your shape. The sound of goodbye is quiet in this room, a door not closing, a heart out of tune. The sound of goodbye is your silence at night. No final sentence, just fading light. The sound of goodbye still plays in my mind, soft as your footsteps, leaving me behind. Sound of goodbye, no scream, no cry, just one empty house learning how to be mine.